Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. Ha ha! I'm sorry. I'm up late again. Well, I'm not sorry. I'm disappointed. I'm up and late again. But hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. What a couple of what a week we had. What a 2 weeks we've had. What a year we've had. And it's only getting better. The best is yet to come. And there is no comparison between what? Well, for starters, the Obama deal with Iran, comparing it to what Donald Trump has accomplished. It's ridiculous to even try to make that assertion. And a lot of other things we didn't get into last time around. So, but we will get into them tonight. What do I do while people get into the chats? I play videos, give everybody time to settle in, and I'll play the favorite song that everybody likes, that we don't know where it came from, but we're glad somebody made it, and give people time to get a cup of coffee, a cold brew or an adult beverage, whatever is your choice. And then what will we do? We'll be like butter and get on a roll. Ha ha ha.
Dust on my Bible, flags on the line. You laughed at our warnings, called truth a crime. You sold us your secrets, wrapped up like hope. Signed all our futures with a poison note. You sat in your mansions, we prayed in the rain. You cast every favor on a ledger of pain. You thought you were covered, names on a list, private plain pages you swore don't exist. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. When the judge walks in, every bell gon' chime. Game over. You thought she was certain, thought he was too. Shook hands in the back room, said they'll never break through. You mocked every farmer, every steel-toed boo. Called them crazy and bitter while you buried the proof. Now screens start flashing, whole names, young kids, whole world scrolling through the things y'all did. Digital soldiers from the cornfields to Rome say leave our children alone or we're taking you home. Let's go! Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. When the judge walks in, every bell gon' chime. Game over. From the back roads to the big tall towers, Patriots worldwide, this the final hour. You can beg, you can bargain, you can scream, you can hide, but the book's been written and your name's inside. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. Nothing's gonna stop what's already signed. Game over.
Storm's on.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
I think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the President tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined.
Now the gloves are off.
Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he perceives as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Yes, we will take care of it. How is everybody doing tonight? What a whirlwind day. Who's come to see me tonight? Let's see who's here. Oh my goodness, Todd's here, Rubber Toe's here, Miss Minder Sue, Robin's here, Colette. All right, nice to see you, Elva. Let's see, Frank is here, Tammy's here. Let's see who else is here. We got the younger gang. Thank you for stopping by. Buy me a coffee this evening. I do appreciate it. I got to get my bottles going. Oh, we got storms all around you, Sherry. My word. Does your cat go underneath the coffee table too, or the couch? Darla's here. Nice to see you. Mine does. Roland's here from Canada. All the way from Canada. Right, sissy. We got Pappy Two Bears. Stopped by last week, buy me a coffee, and so did Wayne. Hi, there's Wayne. Give me a thumbs up. Wayne said so. So Darla's here. Let's see, sissy, Tammy, Robin. I don't want to leave anybody out. But if I do, I apologize. All my lurkers out there, hello to all of you. Gary's here. Thank you, Gary, for going by. Buy me a coffee and dropping a Moab. I know I got to put my bombs in. So when I say Moabs, Miss Minder Sue and Gary leave Moabs when they go by. Buy me a coffee. So let's see who all's here. Rebecca's here. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. If I miss anybody, you just say hi again, and I'll. Robert's here, yeah. Let's see. All right. Well, a day comes along. Will have to come one day. I might have to have like a robot call out names while I talk because we're getting so many people in. That's a good thing, right? The other night, I didn't get many people in at all. I got smothered and had a very difficult time. Hi, Robin. Getting up on the interwebs. And then when I got up, I was like, well, people weren't getting notifications. And I know why. It's because I use the I. But I don't think I'm crazy, right, Linda Marie? Lurking Linda. But yeah, the Johnny. Where are you from, Johnny? New Mexico. All right, welcome aboard. Come on in, shake off your skin, and rattle around in your bones like Todd does. So, S. Griffin, nice to meet you. Marla's here. Let me see. Marla, it's a new Marla. That Johnny's here, and we got new people in tonight. That's good. That's good. Just remember keywords. You got to kind of misspell and throw off the algo and then rhythm. And I got a lot of clips from Trump. Let's see. Because, there's nothing I could say that's more important than what he's saying. And he's putting it out. I'm getting my booms ready. He put Obama out there. What did he say? He said the other countries thought he was a stupid pow, S-O, pow, B. Everybody said it. He said, son of a bitch, pow. So, yeah, Obama, you're a dumb S-O-B. Okay. And there's so much that is happening. People being arrested. These Antifa freaks are getting arrested. These clowns that tried the going after everybody at the UFC event, and the left is seeing people having fun and they just can't stand it. J.D. Vance went on The View and they looked like the idiots that they are, and he had a smile when he was dealing with them, and but they were trying so hard to push their narratives. You make black people feel like they just don't fit in. We don't fit in. And the Carmelo Anthony situation has deteriorated. It has caused a fracture in what was a solid voting coalition for the Democrats, which was black Americans, ever since the Johnson administration in the 1960s, after the assassination of John F. Kennedy. They've been voting in a block, and the media had total control of the narrative. They're losing it now, and people are waking up in the black community. And hey, 50 years of their nonsense is being destroyed, and reality is closing. And this is a reminder. Yesterday was the anniversary of when, what happened 11 years ago. What's happening in the picture? The golden escalator. Yesterday was the anniversary. 11 years. 2015. Donald J. Trump came down the escalator and, for all intents and purposes, set the world on fire. And he's doing it right now in a good way. A cleansing fire, right? Here you have the Babylon Bee coming out. J.D. Vance makes contact with tribe of illiterate feral women. They're becoming the butt of jokes. They are a joke. And J.D. Vance handled himself with aplomb. But I tell you what, I think way he handled it was good. With my temperament, I would have probably popped off in a different way. But that's why I'm not vice president of the United States, okay? So, yeah, you could see them cultivating a narrative, insinuating when they brought up Epstein. And J.D. Vance swatted that away very, very calmly and coolly. But they're insinuating to be combative would have been to sit there and say, what are you insinuating? What are you trying? You were friends with Donald Trump, Joy Behar. Now what are you insinuating about him? And this business of the detention camps, people are being starved, people are dying, they're separating families. What are you insinuating about our law enforcement? You're trying to put forth a narrative that's harmful to our law enforcement agencies and personnel, and you're trying to smear the president of the United States with insinuations. But no, he just laughed it off. He laughed, but he gave counterpoints that were undeniable and accurate. Donald Trump Jr. put this up. Brand new J.D. Vance meme just dropped. In other words, you can take this picture and figure out some print to put in there to make a make a funny out of it. Yeah, and we saw a rift between Poopy Goldberg and Navarro. Don't you do that. Just be quiet. We got to go to commercial. Yeah, it was great. It was great. But you know what? I'm not going to play a lot of clips from her. I might have one. But the Donald Trump himself said bad publicity's better than no publicity. In other words, FaceTime. That's what they all crave. Whether you're talking good about them, bad about them, they want their faces out there. I'm not going to give them the pleasure on my little peanut channel. They're ridiculous individuals, and JD showed them to be ridiculous individuals. Here's another good thing we've been talking about. I might as well give you an update so we can laugh. Former judge ICE obstruction conviction upheld. She'll probably, how much you want to bet she'll take it to all the Supreme Court? This is backdoor Dugan. The judge who had the temerity to take a illegal alien on our soil, committing crimes, violence, breaking our laws, and escort them out the door. And if she was smart, let me tell you something. Because she's convicted of a felony. A felony. If she's smart, she would write a heartfelt, humble letter of apology addressed to the Honorable President Donald J. Trump and supplicate herself before him and apologize and repent. Repent means to look at things differently, okay? To reanalyze and come up with the correct conclusion and accept what you did. You may very well get a clean bill of health legally from Donald J. Trump because he's about healing. He's a peacemaker. And what did he say would bring unity in our country? Let's see if anybody in the chat remembers. What will bring unity into our country? And you're seeing it. You're seeing it in our culture. Hi, Brett. How you doing? Squirrely, how you doing? And remember, somebody comes in with a chip on the shoulder, and hi, Mac, in the chats. Don't. I'm trying to talk to you all. Don't go off on a side conversation with somebody making crazy talk. I'll get to them. I'll have an engagement with them. Don't worry about it. We'll handle it. But everybody's welcome. You got a different opinion about Donald Trump, say it, and I'll engage with you. But just don't be foul-mouthed or insulting to people. And anyway, what will bring unity in our country? Yeah, well, peace is the product of unity. Peace is the product of unity. And that's part of what Trump is doing in the Gulf. He's pitching the ball to the balls in their court. And we're going to get into that because all these petty insults and criticisms of the Iran deal, people don't know their, ass from third base. I'll go ahead and say it instead of trying to say it sideways. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Trump knows what he's doing. Let him cook, as they say. Let him cook. But just a reminder, and this has been brought up before the world more than once, but he's been saying it in front of America over and over and over again.
They were developing a nuclear weapon. That's how they got there. They got all of this uranium during Obama. You know that, don't you? Well, that's how they got there. Don't say this. They got there. They developed it during the Barack Hussein Obama.
They got the nuclear stuff through Barack Hussein Obama. And his so-called library is going to be opened up, what, the 14th? The 14th? How many people in chats are going to watch anything on a live stream to have to do with any of that. Not me. Not me. But they got a lot of celebrities going to be there, so-called celebrities, but they're losing their clout. Well, I want to find that thing on Obama. I'll put it up in a minute as I trip across it. But I will tell you what does. What brings unity is, oh, what's wrong, Miss Minsu? Oh, your comments? Just be careful with your words, honey. Cuba next. That's right, Johnny. Cuba is next. Well, what's going to be next is peace in Ukraine and Russia with Russia. But hey, he could do more than one thing at one time. That's for sure. So it could be Cuba and peace. What will bring unity is success. He said that in his closing statement in the first debate with Joe Biden. Success. And we're having success. Here we go. Here's the oil. It's going to keep going down. And, you know, as sick as they are, never mentioning a word about oil prices, gas prices, affordability crisis, none of that stuff. Under Biden, when it was $120 a barrel, when eggs were $12 a dozen, they never said a damn thing about it. And that should be so glaring, and I believe it is subconsciously and overtly glaring to people in our society, that people are starting to see that this media and the Democratic Party are a pack of liars, and they distract, deflect. So we're going to have economic success. We're going to have security. Trump is going to be putting out flames that have been burning all around the world. For years, he's going to be putting them out. That is going to raise people's sense of security. That's going to raise people's confidence. And success will bring unity. Okay. So here you go. What are y'all going to be doing? What are y'all going to be doing? Look how they put him out there. Who is this? ABC 7 Chicago. Bruce Springsteen, Stevie Wonder, Christina Aguilera, all going to be performing at the grand opening ceremony of the big concrete dumpster that's called the Obama Library. They said there's like 40-some contractors, most of them black, that are going to be going bankrupt because they haven't been paid. You don't hear a damn thing about that. You don't hear anything about that. You hear about algae in the reflection pool, right? Oh, Trump is a failure. Where's that? I got a picture of that somewhere. It wouldn't shock me one damn bit if they're going there at nighttime and throwing noxious materials in there, doing whatever they can. They don't want Trump to have any success. They don't want our country to have any success. Oh, they hate success. They hate success, like with Elon Musk. Oh, they're having conniptions over Elon Musk becoming a trillionaire. What the hell difference does it make in their lives? Like he's the first trillionaire? Show me with this doll how Elon Musk being a trillionaire hurts you. Yeah, well, how's it your problem? And if you think he's the first trillionaire, you're disconnected. You're disconnected. You're delusional. We've had trillionaires and we know what from families they're from, what principalities they're from, for the most part. Yeah, I'm glad he's a trillionaire. Because he's done a lot. Because he's done things that have affected how this war has gone. How our country defends itself. Elon Musk's artificial intelligence tool, Grok, was used in strikes against Iran, the United States government reveals in a legal briefing seen by AFP. Well, You try to get a bureaucracy to get something done. I have said it for decades. I've told people. Bureaucrats would screw up the wheel. If you told them, here, this is a wheel. We use it to move things around. I don't think you can make it any better. And they would get in a room and dream up crap and come out with something that was totally unusable, and then try to mandate that you use it, some crooked, wobbly piece of crap, and say they improved it because they don't know what they're doing. You can't get anything done with a bureaucracy. You can't get anything done through a government program. And you sure in the hell can't keep it quiet. In the brief, the U.S. Department of Justice argues that the lawsuit threatens somebody is suing Elon Musk and Grok. But the Department of Justice said that their lawsuit threatens our national economic and energy security by seeking to shut off the power supply for artificial intelligence innovation that supports the Department of War's military operations. Yeah, you can keep things quieter. You can keep your secrets closer to your chest. You can progress. You can throw out bad ideas without political considerations in private business. So yeah, that's why things went Elon's way. And I agree with J.D. Vance. I have way more issues with Ilhan Omar being worth $30 million than I do Elon Musk being worth $1 trillion. Her day's coming. She knows it. I guarantee she's already got attorneys on the payroll. Because we've had it. We've had it with these people coming in trying to destroy our country. It's getting so obvious. It's so obvious. I tell you what, I'm gonna put this. I don't know if this is gonna bother anybody or not, but I tell you what, it ain't just the liberals. Mainstream media. Yeah. You remember that trick? You ever see a kid and you show them that trick with your thumb? And then they go, oh, like a kid. Yeah, it ain't just liberals. People fall for crap, okay? Fall for ridiculous things. Like, I'm going to tell you what. People that are afraid of these data centers and concerned, of course we don't want anybody abusing the environment. Of course we don't want anybody driving up our energy costs. Of course we don't want anybody using up all our water. Of course. But we want to keep up with artificial intelligence. We want to keep up. We don't want China, Russia, other countries that want to do us harm getting a head start. I have talked for a long time about a friend of mine that bought an industrial park. That industrial park had been operating since the 1930s. It had its own power plant that could have powered half the town if they wanted to. It had a boiler bigger than a school bus, a boiler that you burn coal or oil or whatever you had that ran big generators and ran the whole damn plant. They had acres under roof with all kinds of equipment and lights and heavy duty stuff that had to run, and they had their own power. And that was in the 1930s, 90 years ago. So Donald Trump said he is going to allow companies to build their own power plants. That has been outlawed by a lot of municipalities to hamper businesses, to make them buy the power off the towns, the community, okay, the unions or whatever. So everybody gets their palms greased while you, me, and regular Joe Schmoes gotta get an extra $2 to save the whales on your electric bill, an extra $3 for whatever crap they come up with, You see it on your bills. And they weren't making money off those plants. The politicians weren't making money off the plants by regulating these utilities and getting their bribes, kickbacks, and skim. Because that's what it's all about with unions, don't you know? Utilities, it's all just piggy banks. That's why there's lobbyists. But these companies can create their own power and even sell it to the real community. And water. Oh, they're going to use up all water. I remember when I was like 5 years old, I used to flush the toilet and go, oh my God, I'm wasting water. Like the water just like fell out of the bottom of the earth into outer space. Yeah, when I was 5 years old, that's the way I thought. Where the hell do people think water goes? It didn't go anywhere. It stays right here on the earth. So, what do we learn from California? Why did they hold back all that water from the Pacific Northwest for decades and decades? Where people couldn't do their laundry, people couldn't wash their dishes. Trump's made fun of it, talking about people from California smell funny, that you can't take a shower, wash your hair, you can't flush your toilet without flushing it 3 or 4 times. And all these companies being forced to alter their products to act like they're saving water. And they're pumping it right out into the Pacific Ocean. Why? Why did they spend hundreds of millions of dollars to take sewage and supposedly make it drinkable and have people? I talked about it. I'm not going to wear it out because it's a fact. People drinking their own crap because of politics, because of control. Somebody made millions of dollars off of these so-called reclamation plants, water conditioning plants that were totally unnecessary. And people are sitting around, excuse me for being animated and use the language, people sitting around with shit-eating grins drinking their own dung water. I'm helping save the earth. No, you're an idiot. And you're drinking God knows what from people's pharmaceuticals that they've sat on the toilet and ejected from their bodies that you're now ingesting. All in the name of Greta Thunberg and her ilk to save the earth. That needs to be looked into, folks. I know it happened. I remember reading the news articles about it 20 years ago. People were out of their damn minds. Well, it's recycling. It's you're trying to make me drink sewage. Well, but we cleaned it up. Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll get to the Iran deal. We're not giving them money, Elva. Don't you listen to Donald J. Trump? We're not giving them squat. Trump is setting up an investment fund. An investment fund. We run the investment fund. Other countries can put money in the fund to help rebuild Iran. Just like they're putting money in the United States at record amounts. How many times did you see Trump at the podium? So-and-so nation pledged $100 billion or $100 million into America. He's well past his trillion mark in investment in our country from other countries and companies and entities. He's going to do the same thing for Iran, but he's going to manage the fund. We're not putting a penny in. Now, Trump said if we can be in a position where we make some money, where we get a return, we might invest. But until then, they behave themselves. They can reap the benefits. and become part of the international community like a civilized nation, or we'll bomb the hell out of them. So anyway, well, let me play some of a. Now I got to get my headphones in because I can't hear very good, and I'm tired of struggling with that. And my voice might be a little different when I comment with these. You'll hear the difference when I put this. Where is that? Where is that thing? I got to. Here we go. Can you all hear me? I got the microphone in now. Is this better or worse? Is you know, sometimes I shout and hurt people's ears, and but is this better or the way I had it earlier? Let me see what's going on. My voice is low. Yeah, but I hear the videos a lot better. Well, Ultra DC, we don't need desalination plants. We got fresh water. They have desalination plants in the desert, in the Middle East, because they don't have fresh water. We got fresh water coming out of our ears. One of the jokes I always say is that let me see if I can cut the volume up. One of the jokes that I always say is that when the houses were floating by in North Carolina, literally houses floating past the camera and people sitting in trees with water flowing around. Oh, it's a good thing all those houses had water saving devices. So anyway, let me play some of Trump's videos. He put now these will be a little scrambled up, but well, let me just go ahead and play a clip. Let's see. Here he is sitting with Macron. Let's see what. Now, Brigitte liked holding Donald Trump's hand. At Versailles, it looked to me like she tried to kiss Donald Trump when they were looking out a window, but I'm not going to say nothing. But anyway, here's Donald Trump. And I don't know what he's talking about, but we'll comment after his comment.
Opened, as you know, they're doing a little hunting for a couple of mines that they've already found, but it's essentially ships are starting to go out now. On Friday, it'll be completely opened.
25 ships a day are now passing through. Officials believe that number will double soon, and that full shipping out of the Gulf is expected to be back to normal in 2 to 3 weeks. Now, we know exactly where the mines are, we're told, and multiple sea routes are already safe and secure for passage. We're also told by senior U.S. officials that there is a mechanism in the deal so that no one can ever close the strait ever again. The proxies don't get a pass either. They're written into the memorandum. If Iran can't control their proxies, no economic relief. They'll have to keep Hezbollah on a leash. But if Hezbollah attacks Israel, Israel can hit back. Plain and simple. Speaking of Israel, this deal wasn't without a few bumps in the road. When Israel struck Beirut, Trump told Netanyahu, "What the F are you?"
Well, that's where he set Israel straight, okay? But after this report by Jesse Waters, okay, Trump, there we go. Trump told him, Israel doesn't have to do it. And they go too far. And he said, Syria can do it. And let me tell you something. With the Quds Force and the Iranian Republican Guard, you better believe their eyebrows went up. And with Hezbollah and whoever the hell else is causing trouble in Lebanon, that new president of Syria would go in there and straighten them out. That's what Trump said. And they don't want no parts of that. So anyway, let's see what this next one is. Let's see, who's he with? Did I cut my... Yeah, I cut my mic on, okay.
But you wouldn't have if it weren't for the United States of America, with me, because Obama was the opposite, Israel would not exist right now. Israel would have been blown off the face of the earth, 100%. And every smart person in Israel knows that. Okay.
Another reference to Obama. He all but said Obama wanted Israel gone. He said, we wouldn't have it, there wouldn't be an Israel if it wasn't for me. Obama was the other way. People can read between the lines what he meant, that Obama wanted Israel gone. Anyway, here's the next one. I'll cut my mic off so it'll play louder.
Thank you very much, everybody. We appreciate you being here. We've had a great meeting. We have a great relationship. The Emir is a fantastic man, respected all over the world. Prime Minister likewise. But we have to go to the Emir first. Do you agree, Mr. Prime Minister? First him. But highly respected people, great people. And we work very well together. We have our deal done with Iran, and it should be successful. It goes to a second stage, which I think will be actually easier. I didn't want to attack them last week, but we had no choice. And we did it twice, actually. We were doing it a third time, and we were able to not have to do that. But we have a deal that's a fair deal. It's a good deal. We are not investing any money in Iran, by the way. That rumor got out there yesterday. It was ridiculous. We have the right to go in someday and do, if I want to do something, or somebody wants to do something, but we are not investing any money. We have no obligation to invest any money in Iran. Working with Qatar and the people of Qatar was really a pleasure. They were tough. They were strong. You know, they are the closest to Iran physically. So with other countries, I noticed I had to travel about 45 minutes to get there. With you, you could walk right across the border. So you were in a more dangerous position. But I do have to say, you fought and you helped us, and with great bravery. So I just want to compliment you on that, and you'll always be my friend.
You'll always be my friend. How many times you ever hear Donald Trump tell anybody that? Let me tell you something, that goes a long way in the Middle East. So he's building up credibility of partners in the Middle East, people we can work with. And if anybody's criticizing, I know Mark Levin, I like him a lot. I always have. I won't have known him for years, but I've talked to him 20 years ago, multiple times. He wouldn't remember me. Maybe he would. I don't know. He's disappointed, but I think he'll get over his disappointment. I really do. Let's see what this next clip is about here. But no, you heard him say, we're not putting any money in. Trump makes money. He doesn't throw money at people, just like with his situation with Ukraine. The EU is buying weapons off of us. We're not giving Ukraine squat, except the crap that Congress forces through. Trump ain't doing that. They got to buy it, okay? Either that or trade us rare earth minerals or something like that. Trump makes deals. He doesn't throw money away.
Until you tested, but you were tested, and you had great bravery. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Are you going to have a separate meeting with President Zelensky? And what would
I had one.
What would a Ukraine deal look like?
Well, we have one, but we had a good meeting. I'm meeting him later on today. We had a very good meeting. Look, Russia should make a deal. Russia's lost tremendous amounts of people, and so has Ukraine. Last month, they lost 35,000 soldiers between the two. Think of it. This is on a monthly basis. They average 25,000 people, mostly soldiers, young, beautiful people. And it's crazy what's going on there. But we had a meeting, and we'll see how. I spoke with President Putin on Sunday. And it's sort of the same thing. I mean, they just keep going, fighting, losing soldiers. They lose so many soldiers.
This is not since World War II has anything like this happened. I settled 8 wars. This was the one I thought was going to be the easiest settled. There's a lot of dislike between the two leaders, but yeah, I'm meeting with him again later on today.
And are you going to have a special focus on Ukraine?
Well, we're going to look. Now we were focused on Iran. That's going to be in the back, in the rear view mirror. But look, we have nothing to do with it. We sell weapons to them. We don't even give them. Obama gave them $350 billion worth of weapons. Which was crazy. The European Union pays us full price for weapons. But it's not that. It's that it has no impact on us other than we sell weapons. We're thousands of miles away. But the only reason I don't like to see 25,000 young people die every month. Every month, 25,000 people die. Young people, they're just starting their life. They go to this front and they get blown up. And Ukraine is losing a lot of people too. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm going to do whatever I can.
Well, you heard him say Iran is in the rear view mirror, is what he said. Iran's in the rear view mirror. There, now you can hear me better. And what he said, we sell them weapons. We don't give them weapons. Obama gave stuff to Iran, billions of dollars. And Elva, you say that they're going to get the money back that they have on hold. I might have the clip. Where's that, Elva? Elva said they were going to, in a memorandum of understanding, said they were going to release the money that we have on hold. Well, it's not just us. Okay, there's a coalition that sanctioned Iran and seized Iran's money, okay? And Trump addresses that. He said, if they behave themselves and go forward with the agreement, we'll release their money back to them. We have to, because we can't be running around taking other nations' money. He said, it'll hurt the dollar. People won't invest in the dollar and in our economic system. Other governments won't take the chance if we're just going to take their money and keep it. So if they behave themselves and do what they're supposed to do, you release the sanctions and let them have their money back. But if they screw up, you take their money and bomb the hell out of them. But you can't just take their money, bomb the hell out of them with 90 million people starving and expect to have any kind of relationship. Hey, we dropped 2 nuclear bombs on Japan. And look what we've done over the decades to continue to have a profitable relationship with Japan after World War II. So, no, we can't. I mean, the left screams and yells about people dying in Palestine. They put the dish rags around their neck and they go around protests and sit in the road and do all that crap. But then again, they want us to destroy the Persian civilization and leave them destroyed. Is that what being a leader is? What are leaders for? They're to serve the public and have humanity progress and live a better life. So let's see what the next. Maybe he'll get to that point where he's talking about the dollar. Let me see. Here's another clip right here. Here's another clip. I might play a couple more than once. If I do, I'll catch it. But anyway, because it's the same setting. You're like, wait a minute, which clip is this? Well, let's see.
President, you press the MOU that's been reported. It includes.
Have I read it?
Well, it's been reported that it includes a $300 billion reconstruction fund funded by Gulf allies.
It's false. People, you can invest if you want. I mean, what am I going to do? Say nobody's ever allowed to invest? No, we're not investing. We're not putting up 10 cents, and people can decide to do that, but that's up to them. I mean, do you want me to say nobody's ever allowed to invest in a country? I'll say it with Egypt. Nobody's allowed to invest in Egypt. Am I supposed to say that?
I'm asking whether...
We are not investing in it, and we do not have a fund.
Are you asking Gulf countries?
No, I'm not. I'm not. If they do it, fine, but I would say they won't be doing it for a while until they find out the behavior. It's a behavior thing, but we are not investing. That's a false story that got picked up incorrectly from a statement that was pretty well made, I think, maybe a little bit, could have been a little more accurate, frankly, but it's a story. We are not investing 10 cents. Don't forget.
What he's talking about is a false story, is that it could have been said a little bit better. He's talking about when J.D. Vance was talking about that $300 billion. He's saying it's a false story because they took J.D. Vance's comments out of context. He could have been a little clearer about it, but they're making a mountain out of a molehill, and he's talking about just what I just finished talking about, an investment pool that people can invest in Iran, in rebuilding Iran, doing business with Iran, having companies move to Iran, normalizing trade, if they will act like a normal civilization, a normal country. And he's saying, what do you want me to say that you can't? There's the president of Egypt sitting next to him. You want me to say nobody can do business with Egypt? Of course not. I can't say that. So how should you say that about Iran? We want Iran to be normal, not run by a bunch of mullahs with a chip on their shoulder trying to destroy civilization. So what brings unity? Success. So anyway, I'll let him keep going.
And Barack Hussein Obama, it should have been done by Biden, it should have been done by Bush, it could have been done by a lot of people. This has been going on for 47 years. They've ripped you off for 47 years, and I'm the only one that did anything about it. They never shot missiles at anybody. We wiped out their Navy. We wiped out their military. We wiped out their Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft. They have no radar. You know, the reason oil stayed low is because we were taking ships out every night that you didn't even know about. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, a month ago, we took out 22 ships. We averaged from 15 to 25 ships a night. Nobody knew that. Our Navy did a great job. Nobody knew what was happening. That's why oil didn't go to $300 a barrel.
Mountain Man knew. I told y'all that they were metering it out of there to keep those wells from closing up. And the moderates that are working with us, we had to keep them going too. Money equals power. And you want, like we had the CIA walk around with a big knot. Remember me saying that? Also, Scott Bessent is controlling that money with the ships that he's talking about that they've been getting out of the Gulf, all the way up to this investment fund. Scott Bessent and the U.S. Treasury is monitoring all of that, and we can cut that spigot off anytime we want.
115. Now it's at 72, 73. I heard it's lower than that now. I haven't seen it in the last couple of hours. No, we were very tough, and we took out a man named Soleimani. Remember that? You know, you think this would have happened if you were alive? The evil genius. He was an evil genius. People forget that. I took out Soleimani in my first term. Without that, you don't have the situation that we're in today where we dominated. We wiped out their military, and because we did that, and then we put up the blockade, which was totally effective. Not one ship got...
Yeah, well, he's telling the truth. And I tell you what, I see what you're saying in the chats. I see what you're saying, Gary. But I still am of this mind. Only God knows. Only God knows. And like Trump said, and I said before Trump, I quoted Mike Tyson, everybody's got a plan till you get punched in the face. We don't know what God's plan is. And we can try to move heaven and earth. We can bomb mountains to the ground. We can do whatever we want. But if it doesn't fit in with God's plan, it will not make a difference. And I submit to you all in the chats, all of you in the chats, that we have to consider that our nation may not deserve roads of gold and eternal peace and happiness and a golden age. Maybe we don't deserve it. Because I tell you what, this country has gone into a historic, I mean, not historic like, back in 1892. No, I'm talking biblically historical level of hedonism. Okay? And a great falling away that my father talked about. The great falling away from the word. Where people have no principles. And a guttural society. And I don't know, when you think of what's happened since Roe v. Wade, every hair on every head will be counted. How many heads? We're talking hundreds of millions of human beings who never got to take their first breath, that were conceived, that were known by God before they were conceived in the womb, lost their lives because of our decadence. I don't know if we deserve a splendor that we're all expecting. Only God knows. And yes, Trump is a great man, and yes, he's moving mountains. But if it ain't God's plan, it will be no more than Nimrod trying to build the Tower of Babel. So we're not out of the woods. That's why when people say, just get my popcorn and watch the show because everything's taken care of. Remember the meme that used to go around? Jesus is coming, and boy, is he PO'd. You think he's happy? Would people who for the first time in thousands of years have self-governance, take responsibility for their own government, and then just throw it away? That's what we did. We collectively, I think we let God down. Is this going to be enough of a sacrifice and effort to redeem ourselves? We'll see. We'll see. And we're blessed to be able to see what happens here. We're blessed whatever way it goes. Because I'll quote my father again. It's going to come together just like that. Just like that. And if I'm taken off this earth before the big events that we're thinking about or whatever, that's just the way, that's what happens. You know, we've lost friends in the chats that we talk to every night, and then they're gone because it was time. So I don't know. We're not out of the woods, folks, and we can't ever just throw down the armor of God and say the battle's over. We're supposed to be making sure it's on and that it fits right and that we're focused for the day the evil one comes. And I'm telling you, you talk to your average friend or neighbor, is the armor of God on them? Do they realize what's going on? Do they realize how we've disappointed God? The way we've allowed this nation to run? So, yeah, let's hope for the best. But it's time to spread the word, stand our ground, and help any way we can. Digital soldiers. I mean, I'm not up here because, it reminded me of a quote from Patton. when the war came to an end. He said, if I'm not here for something like this, what am I here for? He's talking about the war. Now that the war's over, why am I here? I kind of feel the same way. But I know that the war never ends. The battle never ends until the day of reckoning. And so, anyway, let's play this next clip. We're not out of it, folks.
اسمح لي فخامة الرئيس ان انا ابدا بكل التقدير والاحترام لشخصكم فخامة الرئيس، وايضا رغم كل الجهود والجدول المسحوم جدا على حفاظ الاستقلال. Please.
Well, first of all, let me express my highest appreciation and respect of your kind person, and thank you very much for allowing this opportunity despite all of the hard work and the very busy schedule that you have.
لكن هبدأ كلامي بالتهنئة والتهنئة الكبيرة جدا على ما أنجزته فخامة الرئيس فيما يخص استعادة السلام في الشرق الأوسط والاستقرار.
Well, let me start by expressing big congratulations for the breakthrough that you have achieved, Mr. President, of restoring peace to the Middle East.
اسمح لي فخامة الرئيس ان بمجرد الإعلان عن هذا الاتفاق كان في تقدير كبير جدا لفخامة الرئيس، ولكن هذا التقدير زاد والإعجاب زاد في إدارة أزمة بمثل هذا المستوى، وإحنا مستنيين الإعلان عن هذا الاتفاق حتى يتم توجيه الشكر والتقدير علنا من خلال مؤسسة الرئاسة والدولة المصرية لشخصكم لهذا الاتفاق الذي أنجزتموه.
Once the deal was announced, there has been great appreciation, but the admiration has increased in this marvelous management of such crisis at the highest level.
Thank you.
We're waiting for the deal to be declared as a final deal, so that we can react appropriately and state our positive views and perspective of that great deal from the presidency and on behalf of the Egyptian people.
So that is the Egyptian president. And I tell you what, a lot of you all remember Egypt with Jimmy Carter signing the peace deal with Israel. What happened to Anwar Sadat, the president of Egypt? He was assassinated. By who? On whose orders? One of these, the first mullah, right? Ayatollah Khomeini. And everything went to hell in a handbag. Here we have Trump again. These are shorter clips. I got the one where he says about Obama. I'll get to that in a minute. But Obama, yeah, he was a dumb SOB. But that's, Trump knows he's giving Obama a little bit of break. He wasn't dumb. He's not wearing that ring to this day that says one true God is Allah. Okay? He's not wearing that for nothing, Obama. So he's part of the Muslim MB Muslim Brotherhood. Okay. So anyway, let me play Trump.
Fuel, so goes everything. Fuel is dropping. It's now in the 70s per barrel, and I think we'll get it down. When I say I was in Iowa, and we had great victories in Iowa. And when I left, I noticed in a gas station, $1.85 a gallon. That's where we were. It was a little bit higher generally, but I saw two stations, $1.85, one had $1.91. And, we're going to get around those levels. So, very young.
Yeah, we're going to get down. How's the gas looking in your all's territories? How's gas looking in your all's territories? I want to play this one right here. The left is putting up something saying that that fighter that said Michelle Obama is a man, that they've already filed a lawsuit against him, the Obamas, and they're trying to seize his prize winnings from that night which was like, I don't know, 3 to 4 million. I don't know how much money. Might be more than that. So I don't know. I didn't hear anything official on that yet. But as many names as they've called Trump and Trump supporters, to the point I've used the term before, BLOOD, blood libel, where other people get hurt. Okay, and this guy saying Michelle Obama was the man doesn't cause that kind of unrest, but what they've done against us has.
Said 1.7 billion and hundreds of millions of dollars. They tried to bribe their way out of it, and you know what the Iranians did? They laughed at Obama and they said he's a stupid son of a bitch. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, that's the way I'd like to leave the broadcast. I might play that at the end because it has to be said over and over and over again. Obama's a stupid SOB. Okay? Well, I tell you, I see the comments. Well, Brigitte Macron was walking next to Trump and Candace Owens is getting sued. Let me take that down. Candace Owens is getting sued. So she's probably like, oh my gosh. Not feeling too good. Gov. Who else snuck in here on me? I don't see anybody. If I missed anybody, I apologize. It's kind of hard to navigate the stream here. I tell you what, I want to put up some stuff that you might want to put on your meta page. Sanctuary city mayors are, well, make it smaller so you all can get a screenshot of it. Oh my goodness. Sanctuary city mayors are defying federal law. They are insurrectionists, just like the Southern governors during the Civil War. President Trump should declare martial law in those cities, arrest the mayors, appoint military governors, and restore the rule of law just like I did. I've been saying that for months. Military governorships. Frustrated by the courts. This is the New York Times. They see it coming. They see it coming. Trump Wade suspending a constitutional right. No, they're not doing what I just did, showing Abraham Lincoln and the fact that it's already been done. When there's an insurrection. No, he's the first one, according to this bunch, he's the first one that ever wanted to suspend a constitutional right. Secret memos show the White House debated last year to a greater degree than previously known whether or not to limit habeas corpus rights. Well, that's what happens when you sign the Insurrection Act. Okay, you got to get control back. And you got to enforce the Constitution. If there are governors, judges in the way, they have to be removed. And you don't have to go through all this BS that we're going through, like Hannah Dugan. Here's something else for you, Meta. I like this one. Because it's true. A socialist is someone who, having the choice to be free, prefers to be a slave simply because they can't bear the brilliance of other human beings. America is a land where people are free to be excellent. They're free to be excellent. And we have people who don't want to be excellent, can never be excellent for whatever reason. They want to institute a government that will stop excellence and create blanket mediocrity, okay? America fosters excellence through freedom. Freedom is where you achieve excellence, the only way to achieve excellence. I saw somebody put in here about JFK would be 109 years old. Well, look here. I remember this guy. You remember Gene Shalit, a movie critic? I haven't thought about him in decades. Longtime Today Show movie critic Gene Shalit dies at age 100. Well, yeah, I never heard a bad thing about him, and I always enjoyed watching his reviews and things like that. Maybe I didn't agree with him or whatever, but he never seemed like a harmful man to me. And God bless him, he lived that long. And it makes me smile when I think about our president. He said 80 is not a number I like. But hey, 20 years ain't nothing to sneeze at. And that's how long Gene Shalit lived his life, beyond 80, right? So God bless him. He's going on to his great reward, I hope. Now, a little something for y'all. The world is changing. The European Parliament just voted in favor of the return directive, which will make it easier to start mass deport illegal migrants. Chance of send them back echoed in the chamber after 400 MEPs voted in favor while 218 were against. Well, everybody knows with that 218 who they need to get rid of, right? So this is a movement that's moving around the world. Around the world. And, and then you got Keir Starmer. He wants to put everybody in jail that talks this kind of stuff. Well, it's a tidal wave that's coming. Yeah. What do you think of that, Keir Starmer? Trump walked past Keir Starmer and didn't shake his hand. And that got people going, oh my goodness. But he ended up shaking his hand in the end. So anyway, I saw on some of these liberal sites, they said they were laughing and saying, the Knicks say they're not going to go to the White House. And all the comments, who would want to go see Poopy Pants in the White House? Well, they're liars, okay? Because here's a clip where they've accepted the New York Knicks are going to go to the White House, okay?
Are you looking forward to the celebration at the White House?
As a matter of fact, thank you for asking me that. We just did receive an invitation from the White House, which we accepted. We still have to figure out the details, et cetera. But, yes, of course. I mean, look, I invited the president to come down for the game, right? He is a friend. I've known him for 30 years, and I'm very proud to bring the team to the White House. Yep.
You said you were privileged that a sitting president came to the Garden. First time ever for a finals game.
First time ever for any NBA finals. Yeah.
That's right. And then you guys get to go back and be celebrated for the entire country to see at the White House at some future date.
There you go. So I don't know who put who put that excuse me, who put that BS story out. But things are moving so quick, they're getting proved wrong. Wait a second. Here, talk about not shaking somebody's hand. See Trump standing there? Who's that coming in over on the right? Who's that sneaking in and Trump spots him? Can anybody see the face on the right? Ha 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 ha. And Macron is bringing somebody, and see how Trump acts. Little what do they call it? Body language study here. What do you think Trump's body language is telling this person coming to the cokehead? How many times has he got to tell you, Zelensky? Put on a damn suit. Okay? Trump just turned around and walked away from him. What a loser. But, hey, Trump is going to put his thumb behind his ear. Did I already play this one? Or did I load this one twice? Let me see what this one is. I'm not sure. Hold on. I can't hear it. But, this is a different person. I thought this was the president of Egypt. It's not. It's different. Different person. Let me see who it is.
Does not like them. And I'll tell you what, Israel's fighting Hezbollah too long and too many people are being killed. And you don't have to knock down an apartment house every time you're looking for somebody. Because there are a lot of people in those apartment houses. And they're not all Hezbollah, that I can tell you.
Yeah, that's when he got into, hey, we'll send let Syria go in there. They don't care for that bunch. They don't care for that bunch, and they'll take care of it. They won't be knocking down buildings, but they'll get who they want to get. And Hezbollah knows that's true. Anyway, here's Trump giving another press conference. Let me see. There we go. Get my mic in.
So we'll be working on a parallel effort with the Gulf nations to address non-nuclear issues such as the conventional ballistic missiles, which we'll be talking about, and support. I mean, they have to have some because other people have some. You got to have some. Somebody said you shouldn't give them one. I mean, I have guys. I like some of these guys, but I don't think they're smart. Sir, you shouldn't let them have any missile. I said, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to let Saudi Arabia have missiles, but they can't have them? Yes, sir. It doesn't work that way, you know. It doesn't work that way. And missiles aren't the problem. Missiles they hurt a little location, but they don't blow up the planet.
Yeah, they don't blow up the planet. And, you know, Clandestine put this bunch of stuff up about Obama and the Clintons and Uranium One because that's what it was all about, okay? Not blowing up the planet, but subjugating the planet under the threat of being blown up, okay? And Trump's removed that threat. So, hey, we're gonna get confirmation where that uranium came from, okay? And then we're gonna be seeing some action. We're gonna be seeing some party, okay? So we got another clip of him standing there at the podium. Let me see. And what he's saying is right. You know, we can't leave Iran penniless, destroyed militarily, with no way to defend themselves and no economic future. I mean, what kind of thinking is that? Like you said, some of these people just aren't too smart. As long as we're stronger than them, okay? So let me play this clip.
But if they do want to invest, it does have oil. It does have probably a future, but it's going to take a long time. But are you going to let the 91 million people starve to death? I mean, one of the things I was very intent on, they have water desalination plants, very good ones. I could have knocked them out in 5 minutes, just like I knocked out Cargill, and I knocked out everything but the oil. I said 25, it was so complete. The only thing there is the pipes coming with the oil, because I didn't want to ruin the world market, because they do a lot of money.
Yeah, so he's saying people can invest in Iran. He's trying to normalize Iran instead of it being a pariah state run by mad dogs of the Middle East. As he's getting rid of those and normalize, they'll be overwhelmed by people who want to live a normal life. People that demand a normal life. Let's see, here we go again. And I mean, how can anybody compare this to what Obama did? Obama sent all that money in the dark of night, and they went on their merry way to create a nuclear weapon and threaten their neighbors. And what did Trump do? He decimated them. All right? He's the new sheriff in town. Far cry from what Obama did. Obama let himself get punked. Well, he let the world get punked for his goal, because he's at the same level as those mullahs philosophically. Barack Hussein Obama is part of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Business. That was a joint venture between Israel and us. We studied it for a month. We knew what plane he was going to be on. Almost a month before, he only traveled on commercial airliners, the big ones with lots of people, because he knew we wouldn't shoot him down. He's very smart. But we knew he was going to be on that plane. We followed him, and then Israel informed me that they won't do it. And I had to make a decision. I had some very good generals, and not the ones you see on television, very good. And I want to thank also Pete Hegseth and General Raisin Kane, who's phenomenal. Okay, these guys are phenomenal. They can't be better. But I had some good generals, and I said to him, well, if Israel's not going to do it, we're all prepared. Do we do it? Do you like doing it or not? He said, sir, if you want to do it, we can do it. How well? We'll do it just as well or better. We'll do it ourselves. We don't need anybody.
He's talking about taking out Soleimani during his first term. And he's reminding Israel that we did it, okay? They backed out, and we did it. And Trump said somewhere, I don't know if it's in this clip or not, but if Soleimani had not been taken out, we wouldn't have gotten this far with Iran. We would still be in a hell of a shape, because Soleimani was an evil genius, okay?
So we took out Soleimani. One of the biggest events to happen, the Middle East, maybe ever, but they say 50 years, they say 100 years. I was with the Prime Minister of Pakistan. He said it's maybe the biggest event that has ever taken place. Nobody could believe it. So that's when it started. It didn't start like 3 or 4 or 5 weeks ago. And Obama wouldn't do it. What Obama did was he did the JCPOA. He loaded up a plane with $1.7 billion in green cash from banks all over Washington, Maryland, and Virginia. They were stripped of all their cash. They had no cash to do payrolls. It all went into a Boeing 757, a wonderful plane, and they flew it to Iran. And they gave it out to people. They bribed people. They thought they were going to get it done. Then they gave billions and billions of dollars after that. And they got a deal that was a road to a nuclear weapon. I get so angry, I guess. I'm allowed to get angry when I watch the Democrats. They talk about it all the time. We had this deal done. You had a deal that was going to give them legally a nuclear weapon. And if that happened, Israel would have been blown away. And in all fairness to Bibi Netanyahu, who happens to be a good man, gets a little excited sometimes. But he happens to be a very good man. We've had an amazing partnership. He's been an amazing prime minister. We have a little dispute over Lebanon. I say, you can do a little softer touch, Bibi. You don't have to knock down a building every time somebody walks into it that's from Hezbollah. but it's been an amazing partnership. But he will say, we're the big partner and he's the very small partner, and that's true. So he came to the country and he begged Barack Hussein Obama, the president, not to do the JCPOA. He said it could be the end of Israel, and it would have been if I didn't come along. And Obama didn't listen to him. Bibi actually went to Congress and pleaded with them, and he got nowhere. And they had this horrible deal that was horrible for Israel, and that's where it stood. And then I came along and I terminated that deal.
And he terminated Soleimani too, and that other creepo who died in a tunnel like a dog. Yeah, we got to remember that stuff. It seems so long ago, but these things take a long time. They take time. And, you know, I heard that the U.S. is going to be putting a joint base. A joint base. Guess where, folks? I saw somebody put in the chats earlier, keep your friends close. But you know who closer, right? See if anybody gets it. Where are we going to be putting a joint? Rumor has it. Oh, Mr. Menders has reminded me. I did it, but then I forgot to say anything about it. And I've been remiss this broadcast because I haven't put in my link for Buy Me a Coffee. Boom! But I have, and I want to thank Gary Powell for dropping to Moab, and Younger Gang, boom, for helping out with Buy Me a Coffee. And, you know, I always make sure I thank Miss Minda Sue, kaboom, kaboom, because she puts in Moab Sue, and Mike and Bev, who are always so reliable. I appreciate them. And everybody else that's helped out last week, kaboom, kaboom. We're in a new week now. So I appreciate everybody helping out at Buy Me a Coffee. The link is in the chats. Did I say description again? I always say that. It's silly me, Miss Mendersu said. Yeah, I noticed people speculating on my location. I'm from parts unknown. So let's see. That is, I always tell people, you know, how you get on, well, I'll give directions one day. But anyway, here we go again with Trump. Trump at the mic. Man, what a busy day, what a busy man. He ended up in Versailles putting his John Hancock on the Memorandum of Understanding. Everybody thought it was going to be in Switzerland or somewhere like that, but he did it today. But anyway, let's see what's going on in this particular situation.
I thank China, President Xi. I was with him, and he stayed neutral, totally neutral, and I appreciate it. And I want to thank Vladimir Putin. He was very neutral. They could have made it much more difficult for us. And I want to say it. You know, somebody would say, "Oh, that's terrible. He's thanking President Xi of China." Well, let me tell you, I had a long talk with him. You know, they have shoulder weapons to knock down airplanes. That it's not like the real deal, but they're accurate. They're fairly accurate. I said, I would really appreciate you're not giving or selling any of that stuff to Iran. And you know what? For the most part, he didn't. So I just want to thank them because they made it a lot better.
Yeah, well, I'm with Clandestine on this one. That is a reminder to everybody that Russia and China stayed out of it. They turned their backs and whistled Dixie on Iran while Trump did what he wanted to do. And that's letting Zelensky and all the people that were involved with the deep and then state know. Because China has complained about the biolabs. Russia's been complaining about the biolabs for 10 years. And, okay, we got uranium one, and we got those biolabs. And Trump's letting them know he's got good relations with both of the complainants. Let's see, what is this one? New, the Pentagon has admitted for the first time that Elon Musk's Grok AI was used to fire over 2,000 munitions at 2,000 distinct targets inside Iran within 96 hours during Operation Epic Fury, The Independent reports. So anyway, the satellites coordinate the longitude, latitude, all that kind of stuff, and put it in a computer, and those bombs go right where they're supposed to go. So yeah, Elon Musk is a trillionaire. And how much of our secrets got leaked out? I'm seeing if anybody guess where we're going to have a joint base. Oh, Mike's here. Did I say hi to you, Mike? Johnny's here. Let's see. Roland said UAE. That's a good guess. Al-Baghdadi. That's right. He died like a dog. Oh, look who doesn't like the deal. Look who doesn't like the deal. Look at him sitting there. Walrus face doesn't like the deal. That should tell you right there to like it, okay? Critics of the deal with Iran suggest the U.S. should wage an endless war until the bombs are dropped or all Iranians are killed, Vance stated. In addition, a former U.S. National Security Advisor during Trump's previous term, John Bolton, expresses an interesting opinion. He claims that the Iranians manipulated Trump, obtaining everything they needed from the deal, and moreover, a significant part of it is not disclosed by the Americans because it contains clauses that would greatly affect the geopolitical situation in Washington, to Washington's detriment. Yeah, to the deep state's detriment. To the deep state's detriment. Trump put this video up. I don't know. A Fox News report. It's a long one. Should we watch it? I mean, Trump posted it. I don't know. Should we watch it? See what people say in the chats. But I heard a lot of things. But let me see. Trump stated, here we go. Trump to meet Zelensky over Iran war. Trump stated that Iran has taken the back seat and he is now focused on the Ukrainian settlement. He said he wants to do everything possible to end the war. Trump also confirmed that he will meet with Zelensky today, which he did. Listen, Russia should make a deal. Russia has suffered huge human losses, just like Ukraine. And he went through what he said, 35,000. What's happening there is just madness. Putin said he would meet with Zelensky, but Zelensky's got to come to Russia. Lavrov, Russian foreign minister, said maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea for Ukraine to join the European Union. The EU would just collapse then. Yeah, the EU would just collapse. I want to find that one article from here. Let's see if this is it. Okay, it's just a report, folks, and it answers the question I posited to you about 5 minutes ago. And Roland guessed the UAE. New, the U.S. military has reportedly begun constructing a large base near the Gaza perimeter fence close to the Ram military base in southern Israel. Israel Hayom reports. What did I just say? I was repeating from the chats. Keep your friends close. The facility is reportedly intended as a military and civilian headquarters for international organizations and personnel operating in the area. Wink, wink. the base could support implementation of the so-called Trump plan, reportedly replacing a multinational headquarters previously located in the Kiryat Gat. Reports not independently verified. No confirmation yet from the U.S. or Israeli officials. But I see that as a very viable notion, okay? Because when you got a yank on Netanyahu's chain, okay, or somebody's going to take pot shots into Israel, they better think twice because the big dog's there, okay? And you all know who the big dog is. And any country that doesn't know doesn't want to find out. Who's the big dog? Right here. I'll show you who the big dog is. Everybody was waiting for Trump. And he showed up fashionably late. Make sure everybody gets to sit down there, cool their heels, and wait for him, and here he comes.
Hello, I'm the boss. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, President. Dear colleagues. So we have a photo.
Oh, yeah. Would you like to stay for the meeting? It's okay with me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, they kicked out the press. Did you notice Trump say, y'all want to stay? It's all right with me. And then woman's going, everybody out, goodbye, goodbye. They were told to leave because Trump, it's okay with Trump because I know what Trump was going to do. Trump was going to tell them the way it was going to be and they're going to like it. Okay? He owned the G7 today. And he said right when he walked in, I'm the boss. And nobody said otherwise. Tell me I'm crazy. I'm not. You guys want, well, let's see what, let's see. I'll save that Fox report for tomorrow night. This is J.D. Vance with Megyn Kelly. Like I said, I don't want to give the View any time. But, I don't know. Megyn Kelly, I don't know how big her following is on Sirius. But I think J.D. Vance handled himself so well in front of the View. You know, if she doesn't get that much views, so what? But anyway, let's see how he does with Megyn Kelly.
Vance deal.
I wonder why he doesn't call it the Trump deal.
I wonder too. There is Ben Domenech, who was on Special Report last night, called this the hillbilly Obama deal.
I wonder who that's a reference to.
Seems to be a shot at you, sir. Not bold foreign policy. There's a guy named Yanon Magal, who is an Israeli journalist who's very close with Netanyahu, who is basically his mouthpiece, who called you a lowlife, called Donald Trump a loser. The Israeli ambassador to the United States called this so disappointing. Then there's Mark Levin, who's been rage tweeting about it every 5 minutes. He demands to see the memorandum. He demands that this be treated like a treaty, to where now you have to get congressional approval for the MOU. The Constitution does say you need approval to declare war, which Trump doesn't think he did and didn't seek. But now, and he defended him on that. But now that we're ending it, which you definitely don't need congressional approval for, he wants this treated like a treaty and is demanding you go before Congress, sir.
Well, to be clear, I don't think that congressional approval was required. I really firmly do believe that the president, was never a full-scale war in the conventional or legal sense of it. So we definitely made sure that we dotted our I's and crossed our T's here. So I wanted to defend the administration on that point. But it is kind of ironic that they're really, really worried about stopping this thing, but they were completely gung-ho about starting this thing. And look, I want to be responsive and charitable to some of these concerns. So, first of all, why do they believe Iranian propaganda only about one thing, the peace deal? They don't seem to believe Iranian propaganda, rightfully so, about anything else. So if you're in the position of endorsing Iranian propaganda only when it's related to this peace deal, then maybe you should check yourself a little bit and question your sources. The second thing that I'd say is, what is their alternative? If you look today, Brent crude is around $78 a barrel. West Texas crude is even lower, $75, $73 a barrel. I mean, the numbers float around a little bit. But what that means is lower gas prices for Americans, lower energy costs for Americans. That means that this little blip that we've had of an increase in energy costs, which has caused a lot of people some problems, we're now getting back to normal. And I think that fundamentally, if you look at what they're proposing an endless conflict. They want this to go on until every bomb has been dropped or until every Iranian is dead. That is not what the President of the United States wants. What he said is, I said it.
It's like I was saying, they sit there and put those dish rags around their neck and scream and yell about Palestinians. But then if Trump's having success in Iran, he's supposed to sit there and let the whole country be destroyed. And it's like Trump said, no matter what I do, I can't win with those people. I can't win. If I let Iran do what they want, they'll blame me for that. If I go in there and crush them, they'll say I'm too harsh. If I'm doing a deal like I'm doing now, nothing will make them happy. So Trump does what he wants to do.
About this to end their nuclear program, to eliminate their ability to threaten their neighbors and project power, and to fundamentally make sure that no future child would have to deal with a terrorist regime with an atomic bomb. That's why the president set out to do this. He feels, and he's right, that he's accomplished that goal, and now we can get to the negotiation to see what are the other benefits that we can get from this, and frankly, what are the benefits the Iranians could get from this if they behave. I just don't think that people who are criticizing this, one, they're not actually dealing with the reality of what's in it, and number two, they don't have an alternative. If your alternative is just to drop bombs without any clear goal or any clear American interest implicated, then you're not making wise decisions on behalf of the American people. The president is, and that's why we're in this position.
Yeah, we're going to bring them back into the family of civilized nations or bomb them to the Stone Age. It's their choice. It's their choice. So let me see who else came in here. Well, America first. Yeah, I'm all America first. But you can't destroy nations and not think about the 90 million people. And if there's continued conflict, unresolved conflict, the world economy it'll be a disaster. And that's put America last. Let me see. I got one more. I got another clip from J.D. Vance. Let's see right here. Let me go ahead and finish. Let J.D. have his say. Oh, my goodness. This is the one with the view. Oh, my God. But I think it's a short clip.
Did have a criminal record. They had a sex trafficking conviction.
Don't have criminal records. So the majority of people that ICE is rounding up and taking out of their homes from their families, they're separating families. They're using children as bait.
But
the majority are not criminals.
But can I respond to that, guys? Let me just say this. Okay. So you talk about the children. Here's what I'd say. Do we know that during the last administration, we had tens of thousands of children who were sex trafficked by the cartels, who were brought into our country in profoundly dangerous and predatory conditions?
Let's talk about this administration.
But here's the point. Unless you enforce the border, you invite that kind of conduct. You think that our immigration policies are inhumane based on the reporting of one person with a political bias. What I'm telling you is that it's inhumane to allow cartels to sex traffic people across our border. And by the way,
please hold on.
I appreciate that. We're going to get you back, Anna.
We're coming back with more with the vice president.
Yeah, they're trying to insinuate that ICE agents are barbarians and abusers and all this stuff, trying to incite public hostility, the kind of thing that ends up with somebody like this losing their life. Who is this? Corey Compatore. Okay, remember him? And I said when it happened that I thought he fell in the line of duty when he was shot during the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. His family put up. My dad would be 52 today. He wouldn't have wanted to do anything special, no big to-do. He would get up, go to work, come home, and probably cut the grass. He would have been excited over some new socks and underwear. But we, of course, would have had to celebrate him. My sister would make her homemade cheesecake, and we would have a nice dinner and spoil him with nice gifts. Time with his family was what mattered most. And that's what he would enjoy the most. He would be 52 today. But to us, he'll always be 50. And, you know, that's why it's hard to not have this silent fury at people like The View, who stoke this kind of vitriol and falsehoods, because people lose their lives. And children lose their parents. So anyway, as we march towards the truth being told, this is something you may want to put on your meta page, because the loss of Corey Compatore and many others that we could sit here and list, the crimes against humanity have to be answered for. I'm just looking through the chats, gathering my voice back. Let's see. And we will have justice. If you didn't get a screenshot of that, rewind the video, get a screenshot of that, and put it on your meta page. Just looking through the chats. Yeah, Trump is, he's taking the chessboard of the world and realigning things. And, you know, this cultural change, I wanted to talk about it more in depth. What's happening in our own culture. Is huge. But here you have a young lady who's giving you a little advice. Speaking of culture, the Karen culture, how she deals with Karens. This might be something you take out a page out of her book. There are so many people from foreign nations here in America that you can hit them with the fake out, like this young lady did. And it's kind of funny. I hope you all enjoy it. Let's see. I saw somebody I didn't get a chance to say hi to, but I scrolled up and I guess I missed it. Who was that? Designer, nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Parts Unknown. We're all sitting in Parts Unknown, whether you know it or not. But anyway, what do I always say? You all enjoy this clip, but I always say thank you for spending your precious time with me. I should be going live tomorrow night, and if you all are subscribed, you'll know when I go live. So why don't you go ahead and do that? And I will put a link in the chats while this young lady is talking. Boom for Buy Me a Coffee. Kapow! Again, thank you for to Gary. This week was Gary and Younger Gang. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom for going by Buy Me a Coffee. Anyway, folks, again, thank you for spending your precious time with me. I should be going live tomorrow night. So anyway, I'll be seeing you soon. Enjoy this clip. This is Mountain Man. Over and out.
You guys, I figured out the Karen antidote. So my husband and I have traveled almost everywhere throughout Texas, and we have never encountered one Karen until we got to Austin, and it was 3 separate incidences. So now I'm just pretending I'm a French tourist for the FIFA Cup, because we had one come up to us, like that Karen haircut thing, acting like, you know, we shouldn't be smoking outside in public on the streets. And so my husband's like, oh, okay, like, you know, well, we're kind of far away from people. And I just started a French accent, and I go, oh, are you one of those Karens we've seen online? Like the Americans call Karens, but I thought it was fake. I'm like, but look at you with the Karen haircut. I'm like, are you from California? And she's like, well, yeah, but like, you know, I was just trying to, I'm like, when you come to Europe, do you do the, like there too, or, you know, afford Europe, right? And so she's like, oh, I thought you guys were speaking English, you know, because like in America, we it's rude to smoke out in like public, right? I'm like, I have heard about you. I'm like, Texans, they're so friendly. I'm like, I knew you were a California transplant. And so I was like telling her that everything I've read online about Karens is exactly what I saw in her, and she got so embarrassed. She didn't know what to do, and then she pretty much said, I thought you guys were speaking English and you were from here, and then just walked away. So to anybody out there, if you ever encounter a Karen, pretend you're a tourist from like Europe and just lay into them, because they literally think Europeans are cultured and above everybody in North America. So if a European calls her a Karen, all of a sudden it clicked into her own behavior, because they don't behave like that when they go to Europe. So anyway, the antidote, pretend you're a European, put on an accent, and then just call them out.